Hello everybody, this is LUKMETAL. I just passed my ACE personal training exam. I scored a 562. You can score 800 is a high score, 500 is the minimum. I took this thing 4 times. It took me to pass it. 3 times I failed it, but I got better every time and I finally got done it. And I bought the book. But Exercise for Science Fitness Professionals Anatomy book. I got the study companion, and I got the index cards. Now I'm going to be going over a few things that are on the test. Most of this stuff comes from the book. This is your main source right here. You got to know your anatomy though. The index cards, I didn't use them that much. The practice test is about 180 questions. I went through this a couple times. There's not one exact question on here that's actually on the test, but a lot of similar types of questions on here. So this is, it's good to go through. I went through it a couple times. So with the book, a lot of reading. They recommend 3 to 4 months to go through it and study. I mean, it depends on how fast of a learner you are. Me, you know, I guess I was pretty average as I started studying. I actually did a course years ago, and I took the test years ago and actually failed it, and I just didn't want to be bothered with it, and I went on and did my own thing, but I came back to it and I passed it. So I've actually taken that test 5 times. Look at these results. They get better each time. It's worse and worse from the first time, but I beat that stuff. So that's all that matters. So now, a couple of things the test, it goes through some specific questions. Not every same question is used on every test, so but there's a lot of similar questions that they used on all 4 tests, I noticed. So the key points, the gray boxes in the book, there's areas that say apply what you know. These are good to know because they do use some of these on the test. There's not a whole lot of anatomy questions on there. Just a very few handful on what types of exercises they're being worked with in accordance with. You got to know your VO2, your VO1 max, your threshold. I mean, you got to know a question as silly as, you know, how many miles, you know, can I put on a pair of running shoes before I should get a new pair? That one, I believe, well, they last 3 to 6 months. Mileage, I forget what it was, 3 to 6 months. That one's in the book. There's questions on the test I could not find in the book. I'm not saying they're not in there. I just couldn't find them. But I've heard other people say that I can't find certain questions that I found, so I'm sure it goes both ways. They found questions that I couldn't find. So let me find my... Alright, strains and sprains. Know your strains, know your sprains, know the differences. Your tennis elbow. I'm not going to give you all the answers. You got to look it up for yourself. I can't be here to baby you and to work you through this. Because I had to sit there, force myself to stop, stick my face in a book, which is what I hate. I got to be in the gym working out, and I did it, and I got it going, and that was it. And I didn't give up. And 800 hours later, boom, finally passed it. Yeah, each of these retakes costs $200. First time, it's $400. So it gets pricey if you don't pass it the first time. Next is, there's a question on there about removing a, well, one of the tests is a question about removing a bike from the gym floor. That, if a bike seat is ripped, or a piece of equipment has a ripped piece of fabric on the seating, just get rid of it. Don't put a sign on it. The sign will get lost. Let's see, you know your fluid intakes before, during, and after exercises. You know your waivers, your consent forms, know all that. A lot of the questions in there, they came from the 1st to the 3rd chapters. The principles of motivation and adherence, the assessment, the ACE IFT model. I mean, it's the psychology part of personal training is what it is. Know that. Know how to talk with clients, know the reports, know the personal trainers and scope of practice. That's important. Know the stages of change, behavioral change in clients. Intrinsic motivation, self-efficiency, rapport, SMART goal, know that. The tell, show, do method, know that one. The stages of learning. IFT model, the basic movements, the zones, the health risk appraisal, concentric, eccentric motions, the McGill. Some of the tests you should know: the McGill, the step test, myofascial release. Know that. Know what that is. Know the stances, the balance stances: hip width, staggered, tandem, one leg. Know them. Periodization table, rate of perceived exertion. There's not a whole lot of math problems on there, but the few that are on there you should know. You should know there's not a lot of nutrition problems on there, but you should know some of them. You should know 9 grams of calories and a gram of fat, 4 and 4 in a gram of protein and a gram of carbohydrates. Know some of the legalities. A little bit about sole proprietorship and the HIPAA law. You need to know that. But like I said, the majority of it comes out of this book. If you know this book pretty darn well, then you're going to pass this thing. Because, you know, I was fed up. I was putting so much information on me. I was done. I was like, I'm done with this. Jeez, forget it. I'm done. I'm done with this now. Now, I was going to take this out back and burn it, but I decided, you know what, let me just keep on to it. I keep furthering my education with it. You know, use it if I got to go back to it. So, the last one I trashed, but this one I'm going to keep, and I'll put it in my archives. We'll see if it comes out again, but if it does, there it is if I need it. So, that's it for now, and just keep your faith in the book and just stick with it. Don't give up with it. This is really something you want to do, but don't waste your time with it. I know a lot of people, they wasted their time with this stuff. They didn't really want to do it. It wasn't their ambition. It wasn't their drive. And they just, I bought this off Craigslist. I bought all 4 of these books off Craigslist for $100, okay? $100. I found them. You know, no one else had any of them around. If I didn't pay that, I would have had to pay, I don't know how much they are new, over $500 for all these books and study companions from ACE or from college, whatever college does these courses. So, you know, it wasn't by chance that I just happened to find these books so I could study and get this certification under my belt. I mean, it wasn't by chance at all. So, just remember, don't waste your time with it if it's not something you truly want to do, and this isn't something you don't want to help people through fitness, through exercise, through nutrition. Just don't waste your time and don't waste your money. I didn't do this course at the college. I did this 6 years ago. 6 years ago, and it was still 7, 8 years after I got out of high school. I had no idea about personal training or wanting to do anything like that. I was like, you know what? I like this stuff. I started getting into health and fitness 8 years ago. 10 years ago now, and through martial arts, and then I had the opportunity to go to college, take a couple courses, and I did. Got through it, graduated. I actually had to go back. I just got done an internship at a gym where I learned a lot of stuff. While I was there, I took the test 3 times, failed it. Boom, finally passed it yesterday. And here I am. I got my credential. And I know you don't necessarily start making an awful lot in this business, but I needed this as a backbone, so I had it, and so I could just build off that, so I could sort of start my foundation with what I know and with what I can do. So, good luck to you, and press into it if it's really what you want to do. Don't give up, and nobody can ever take your goals away from you, because they're your goals, and that's your ambition, and don't let anybody ever talk you out of it for no reason whatsoever. Because who are they to say anything about you and what you can't do? So, have a great day, and get to the gym.